Well, RP, inside of a month to go until we head off to beautiful Kamloops. How much is your excitement once the calendar hits April here?
You know that you're getting down the countdown, right? Closer to the season, closer to having guys coming into camp, enthused about the season, really more so just enthused about the guys that you're bringing in. It's an exciting time for us to get back to football, see the guys that have been putting in a lot of work in the off season, but also the work that we've been doing as a coaching staff. So I'm excited. It's a new beginning. We're hosting the Grey Cup this year, so that has enough excitement within the city. But, regardless of that, I think we're moving in the right direction as an organization and as a team, and I'm excited to see what 2024 brings.
Yeah, expanding on the Grey Cup part of it, it's the goal every year, but obviously you know how special it can be to do it in our own backyard in front of our fans. How much do you preach that to the players coming in here?
I just want them to understand the experience, something that you can look forward to. Any added incentives, that's definitely something that you want to be able to put to the forefront. It gives those guys another added goal. There's nothing like having a celebration of now being able to be in front of your home fans, in your home stadium, amongst family and so forth. It's one of the greatest experiences that you can have. And, I was able and fortunate enough to have that same experience. So for me, it's something that we'll talk about at the beginning of the season. Really won't express it too much during the bulk of the season, because at that point now we're going to move to week by week progress. But the biggest thing for us is to understand that, those things are definitely in our sight, definitely a part of our goal, definitely something we want to accomplish and do it to the best of our ability.
Last year set the bar pretty high, 2 shutouts, some amazing individual performances. What do you take from last year and build it toward finishing the job in 2024 and beyond?
Honestly, you take everything. You take the good with the bad. Definitely we had some highlights, and, we had some glory times and things like that. But, you also got to take the bad. And, we want to be as consistent as possible, and we want to be noted as the best defense in the league. And, we definitely show moments of that. And, we want to be consistent, and consistent defense means consistent championships. And that's how I look at it. So, we want to make sure that we start out fast and strong, but, at the same extent, we don't want to, peak too early. We want to make sure that we're doing things with an uphill type of mentality. And then once we hit our peak, it's at the right time in the season, and we're doing things to the best of our ability to help our team win. And I expect nothing, less of that.
A guy that really was a tone setter for our unit was Matthew Betts. Of course, he's moved on to the Detroit Lions, but whether it's a signing of a Pete Robertson, a guy like Menard stepping in, there's always a few wild cards with some unknown names on the roster, whether it be Americans or draft picks we might add here in a couple weeks. How excited are you to see that void get filled by someone very promising?
Yeah, you got to be excited about the next guy up, right? The next guy that gets a prime opportunity. Matthew Betts is who he is. He's the Defensive Player of the Year. You don't just come in and replace a guy like that, that had that many sacks and just, was disruptive and a vocal point of our defense. So you want to find the next guy, and whether that's doing it by a unit or even doing it by one guy, you want to make sure that you try to fit that void as best as possible. And you touched on someone like Pete Robertson, and also a guy like Sione coming back that will have a bigger role as far as that is. So that's the biggest thing for us. We want to make sure we do it as a unit. But, for those guys that are veterans, we want those guys to lead the way, and those guys will have definitely a more prominent role. We expect us to go out there and hit it on all cylinders, and we still expect to be at the top of the league when it comes to sacks and disrupting the quarterback.
Working back here, what excites you most about our linebackers? A solid mix of veteran and youthful energy, guys like Woods and Hladek enjoying career years, and Mr. Lacumbo still going strong, just to name a few guys.
Yeah, versatility. That's the biggest thing, right? You want guys that can, do multiple things. Those guys do everything in the sense of being able to play the pass, play the run, and also they are big contributors even on special teams. Those are things that help you win championships, and those guys aren't afraid to be able to get their nose dirty in that sense. We're only going to be as big as our guys within our unit, and those guys are going to have to be versatile in that sense. So that's the biggest thing for us. How can we make sure that we put guys in position to be successful, use our attributes in that way? Those guys have certain intangibles that I feel like most other guys in the league don't have. So we got to make sure we put those guys in position and make sure those guys go out there and make plays. And, after that, let those guys be themselves.
And you're a defensive back at heart, obviously. How excited are you for this group? And maybe how much of a challenge is it going to be replacing TJ's not only his on-field ability, but his leadership to start the year at least as he continues to recuperate?
Well, leadership is something that you really can't, teach and coach. TJ is just a born leader. He's a guy that is a captain of this football team, not just defensively. A guy that's been in that role now for a number of years. So to try to just replace him, definitely going to be difficult in that sense. Gary Peters has been, a consistent all-star. In my opinion, one of the best in the league at his position, if not the best. So, he's definitely got to take on a larger role in the sense of being that vocal leader and a guy that they look up to get guys in the room to make sure we're all on one accord. But, that's why you go out and get guys. Sales and those guys are coming back. But, you sign a person like Seontae Evans, who I have a lot of respect for, a guy that's made plenty of plays amongst the league, a guy that also just won a Grey Cup, so he's bringing Grey Cup experience. And that's what we're trying to get to. So, I'm definitely going to lean on those guys. Those guys are going to definitely have to, do a little bit more than what they probably had to do in the past. But they're all up for it, and I'm excited about what we have to come. And I expect those guys to continuously make plays and celebrate on the field. I'm going to celebrate with them, and we're going to continuously, make sure we have enough highlights to be successful on the field.
All right, more dancing this season. We look forward to that as well, RP. Thank you for the time.
No, thank you. I appreciate it.